Hello friends, in this video I am going to tell you how to add Google sign-in option in your Android app. It is the most convenient login options in any app. So let us start. Let us launch the Android Studio now. Start the new Android Studio project. Start empty activity. Click next. Give a name to your application. So I'm giving here Google sign-in. Let everything others be okay and click finish. So here in our case, as soon as the project loads, what we are going to do, we are going to do some important initial steps. Those is steps like giving some permissions and some adding dependencies, because we are trying to do with Google sign in. So now you can see the main activity.java and Android main.xml has opened. So quickly go to the manifest file, expand it and open the manifest.xml, and here just below the package write user permission android.permission.internet, close it here. So that's the permission we added here, and then go to the Gradle. You can go to the net and write Google sign in for Android, and you will end up in the page. Start integrating Google sign in into your page. That's the first step we'll do. So what it is saying that there has to be Google Maven repository has to be there. So just check it whether it is there in your not. Mostly it will be there. Under the build script also it is there, and under the all projects also it should be there. So that's it, Google is there. And now build.gradle also, app level Gradle also you go. So there are dependencies we define. So go back to the browser and then you can see implementation Google services basically. So copy that line and paste it here. So that dependency we will add here. That's added. And what else we will do? We will be using a image loading tool, that's a glide. So open this, search for glide and open this bump tech glide and go down below, and basically this is the open source media management and image loading framework, simple tool. So go there, and it needs dependencies. So these two lines, to copy these two lines, implementation and then annotation processor, and add below the where the last implementation we added and paste it. So because we have changed it, we have to sync now again, and the syncing is done, no errors. Go to the main activity.java and come back to our browser and see the result. First we have to do configuring the API console, Google API console project. So click on the configuring the project, select project name, my project, or whatever project you want to give. So just write in examples, click next and configure your OAuth client. Write anything, example, whatever you choose. Then you have to write configure client where from where you are calling. It will be selecting, you will be selecting Android. Then the package name you have to write. So go to your package. So select the package name, entire package name, and paste it here. Then SHA1 certificate it is asking for. So go to the right side Gradle and then click app, and then go to the Android and click sign in report. You'll see in the terminal, slightly browse it above and you will see there is a SHA1. Just focus it here. This thing, copy entire code, copy and paste it here and create. It's configuring, and then you can see there is a client ID and client secret has been generated. Now what you will do, you will download client configuration. So this will be like credentials.json. So we have to copy this credential.json to our app folder where our app is located. Just copy it and through the Android Studio go to the app folder, paste it there, and just change the name because it was earlier also copied in my PC. So I change the name to credentials.json. Now go to the Android Studio and then we will go to the add sign in option. So what we have to do in add sign in, first we have to add a button. So you can see there is a hello text here. So go to the text part of the activity underscore main.xml. We will change this constraint layout to relative layout. And this text view, we will retain it as it is. Only thing that we will do, we will give an ID equal to ID slash text. That's it. And this, instead of this hello world, we will replace it with the click to sign in. This will be the text which will indicate the to press the button. We can also align it, so we will give center in parent option, layout center in parent option equal to true. So you can see it is the text has come. I will like to increase the size, so text size equal to 24 dp. Now we will add the button. It will not be our normal button which we will use in Android. It will be a Google sign in button. Just write com, the options will come automatically. So the first option, the sign in button, gms.common.sign-in button, you can see that will come, and just click that. So this is the button for Google sign in. So width will be match parent and height will be wrap content. And below that I will give an ID equal to ID slash sign in. Then it should be below, because it's a relative layout, it should be below the text view. So we'll give layout below ID slash text. So here we can see our text has come and there is a button, this white color button have come. That's a Google sign in button, but this is the button which will when we will click, it will open the options for Google sign in. Now we can go to main activity.java. We will define some object like sign in button. Let's write here, and then below that we will write Google sign in client. So you have to define a Google sign in client, and then we will write the variable name m Google sign in client. This is the name actually which is given in the browser in the Google help. Then what we'll do, we will define a static final int rc underscore sign in underscore in equal to 0. This will be our integer variable. So this is just you define, you can give any option here. I will give an option 0. Then you have to initialize this button, sign in button equal to sign in button, find view by id r.id.sign in. That is our ID we have given to our Google button. Now coming to what is the code requirement here. You just take the help of the Google, and so here there is a code Google sign in option GSO. There is a GSO variable we have to define. So just copy this these 3 lines basically. And also you have to create a client object actually. So copy this m Google sign in client, which will use the Google sign in options to receive the client info. You have to import the class here, Google sign in import class. So you can see the GSO option is used by the Google sign in get client. So GSO decides what are the options it will be taking for the sign in. And there is a further, you can do a lot of changes, but we will keep it simple here. Now we will create a listener for our sign in button dot. So we'll write sign in button dot set on click listener new view dot on click listener. Just and under the on click view we can again take the help of the Google, and just come down below in the add sign in option only, and you will find there is a start sign in flow. So there is a, under the on click method, there is method is given switch get ID. So just copy those lines here and paste here, and also this v dot get ID, we have to change this v to view, which will match our view, and then ID we have to change what ID we have given to our button. And there is a sign in function and there is a break. Now the sign in function is still not there, so this has to be created. So let's create a method sign in under the main activity, and inside the sign in option the sign in function. Again go to the Google and there is a function is there below, just below that. So basically it's done using an intent. Just copy these two and paste it there. Import the intent class. So there is a start activity for result. So it will start an activity of sign in and will pass down the result. You can see the RC sign in variable is used here. Now what we will do, we will create an override function here. So go to Google. What it says that under the on activity results, this code, because it will check for whether the successful sign in has been completed or not. So copy the entire code, paste it there. So this will create an override function on activity result under the main activity. So rest of the things you can just leave, just delete these spaces. I'm deleting all extra spaces here. Import the class task. If request code is equal to RC sign in, so it will ask for it will call for the task Google sign in get sign in account from intent. So it will start asking the data. Now come back further and this entire set of code, just copy it there instead of writing the entire thing. What I'm doing is I will just copy and paste that. So this what it is doing, this implementing the handle sign in result, which is here also again we have to just this import some classes. Just delete the extra things with here. We don't need these statements here right now. Import the log class and this tag, we can replace it by some tag of error. Then this update UI null, we don't need this actually. If there's an exception, just keep it logged. And also this we will delete and update UI account. Instead of that, basically after this sign in, what we will show a toast that sign in successful. So if the sign in results is successful, we will show a toast to the user. So our first level of app is complete. So now just let us run it. Then we'll further modify it to add more complexities. Press the run button and I have mirrored my phone. So the Gradle invocation finished and you can see the app is launching. So you can see there is a Google sign in bar, there is a button here, there is a text also has come properly. They press the button and as happens, so there is a Google sign in button is working. So there are a lot of Google sign in options has come asking for emails to select, and I selected one, and then there is a toast message is coming. That means the sign in activity has completed and the result is passed. So if you again do that, sign in is already done, so it is already signed, so it is not doing anything. So now what we can do extra is we can add an empty activity where we can lead like profile activity, we can give the name to it. If the sign in is successful, we can transfer our user to that activity so that it should not remain in the same main page. It should go to this second activity, and then from the second activity we will create a logout button, and there where it will come back to the main activity. So we'll just extend our project to these extra functions. Okay, so let's go to the main activity.java, and below the toast where we were showing the toast message, what we will do, we will also create an intent equal to new intent this comma profile activity dot class. And the layout is activity profile, which is another activity we have created, another empty activity we have created. We'll change the layout to a relative layout again, and we'll just add a button here. So the button width will be match parent, layout height will be wrap content. Then ID I will assign is ID slash sign out. And so I will align this button to center and parent true, and then we will define the text here, sign out. This will be the text of our button. The size of the text again will change it to 24 dp. Now we can see the button has appeared in the center of the screen. So we have to first also define here. So button variable, just name it sign out. So that object we have to create here, and then we have to initialize that object sign out equal to button type find view by id r dot id dot sign out. That is the id we have given in our XML. Then what we have to do, we have to again copy this our GSO part and the client. So these codes just copy here and paste it here. We are going to need them again. It will ask for importing the class and just press OK. So this Google sign in client is not there. So just the way we did in the main activity.client, we wrote this, we defined that Google sign in client object. So just paste it here also below the button. It will ask for the class, appropriate class it will ask, and just so that's it. And now we will create a listener for our sign out dot set on click listener, new view dot on click listener. So under the on click method, we can again go to the sign out function. So now we are in the sign out user and disconnected app tab. We will copy this part of the code snippet and paste inside our on click method. This is sign out. Now the sign out function will be called. There's some error in the brackets, and let's rectify it. And I think, yeah, that's okay. Just arrange it properly, just for the sake of. Copy this code snippet of the sign out function and paste it under the main activity, and that's it. So after pasting, you have to, these red portions, we have to import the classes on complete listener class and this task class, all these things. So once you did, so now we will define under the onComplete task method what we are going to do. So sign out, so it is calling from client dot sign out, and there is a listener. So if it is a sign out is complete, what we can do, we can just write a toast here. So text of the toast will be user signed out successfully. So that's the job of our function, of our button. When we press the button, there should be a sign out function should be happening, and then there is an intent. What we'll do, we will intent equal to new intent get application context comma, because we are inside the main activity here, then comma main activity dot class, and then start activity intent. I think I got reminded of this thing, this start activity we have to write in our main activity.java also, from where we are moving to the profile activity when the sign in is successful. So yeah, below this intent also, actually we have to write start activity intent. So that's it. Now run the project. So our another level of functionality is ready. So you can see we have this, just the way we choose the email, and then there is a sign out button, and when you press the sign out button, you go to the main page and you are signed out successfully. But still there is a issue actually. If you see, even if the user is signed in, it is allowing user to click the sign in button actually. So when we log out, it comes to the main page, and when we click on the sign in button, it is giving a message, and then it is not checking anything. So that check for the user sign in existing also we can add here actually. So go to the Google, go below. So you have to go to the check for an existing sign in user portion. So there is this function Google sign in account. Actually you have to create an account object and then update account. So copy this thing and create control O, press control O, and search for on start and add that on start function below the super dot on start and paste it here under the update account. Instead of giving a function, we will simply check that if the account is not equal to null. So if the account is not null, that means user is already signed in, then we'll show a toast that user already signed in. That's the proper method of doing that. So, and what we will do, so as soon as the account is not null, we will create an intent equal to new intent get application context. We will move the user to profile activity.class because it is already signed in. So you can go to the profile activity.class page and you start activity intent. So that's another functionality we have added in our Google sign in part, and let's run it and see what happens. So this will click it and choose the email. So we are going to the profile activity page, and when we don't sign out again, and what we'll do, we'll run it again. We check what happens, whether our code is working or not. So you can see we are again landing up into the profile page. When we press the sign out button, we will come to the main page. So that's it. That means our function is working. It is checking the distance of the account and sending the user to profile activity directly instead of living in the main activity. Now what else we can do? We can in the fourth part, basically what we will do, profile data of the user. In the profile page, we'll extract the data of the user which is signed, which is logged in. We have to change the XML file. So go to the activity underscore profile XML, add a linear layout here. So width will be match parent, height will be match parent, and inside that, instead of that, we will just end everything into the linear layout, even the button which we created, logout button also. Some other parameters we have to define. So gravity will be center and orientation of the layout will be vertical. So this will create a linear layout where we can keep on showing the data just one by one. We have to remove this, and this text view, we will add a text view first. So this text ID will be /name. So it will show the name basically. We'll give some margin top equal to 30 dp. Okay. So you can see the placeholder for the text has come above the button. And copy this thing because you have to extract multiple information. So just paste it once. We'll paste it 5 times at least. So third time we paste, then fourth, and then fifth. Yeah. So the second text view, I will change the ID as first name because it will ask for the first name. Then second name, the third text view ID, we will change second name. The fourth, it will be email, and the fifth text view will be user ID. It will be a user token basically. At the margin on the button also, it is, you can see in the design. Now go back to profile activity.java. Here we are supposed to initialize those objects, and so go to the get profile information tab in the Google and scroll it at somewhere where this Google sign account. Just open the main activity and go to the copy this Google sign in account equal to Google sign in dot get last signed account, because that is the again from the same account only we are getting the information. So we have to call that Google sign in account object, and we just paste it here below the client declaration, and just copy this if code entire if. So just paste it here. You can copy as a whole also, just like that. I'm just ensuring the name matches. So this ACCT account, we just match it with the full account we have written in our code. So the URI also has to be imported now. Import this class. So you can see all the classes has been imported. Now we will define text view. All those XML widgets we will declare here. First will be username, comma, user first name, comma, user second name, comma, user email, comma, user ID. We'll show the image. So add image view, profile image, semicolon. We have not added in the XML. So let's just above at the topmost portion above the text view, the image view. So just write image view, width is 100 dp, and you can choose according to your choice. 100 dp, 100 dp. This is a square image placing I'm choosing, and then ID I will assign it as a profile image. Go to the design and just see whether it has come properly or not. So the placeholder for image has come. So that's it. Go to the profile activity.java, initialize all those objects. So start writing username equal to text view inside the bracket, find view by ID, r dot id dot name, the first name equal to text view, find view by ID r dot id dot first name, then user second name. Similarly, inside the bracket text view, find view by ID r dot id dot second name, user email equal to text view, find view by ID r dot id dot email, then user ID text view, find view by ID r dot id dot user ID. So define all the variables which are the basic variables which are needed by the code. So then profile image we will define as image view, find view by ID r dot id dot profile image. We have initialized the profile image also. Inside that, start putting the strings which has been called from the account inside all those variables. So username dot set text, person name, user first name dot set text, person given name. These are the strings which are actually receiving this data from the account. So user second name equal to dot set text, person family name, user email dot set text equal person email, then write user id dot set text person id. Then what we'll do, we'll write glide dot with this. Glide is the method which we will use here to load our image onto that placeholder. So dot load person photo dot into profile image. So that's the way we set all our variables and then run the project. So installed successfully, and then just click the sign in button and there is a options are coming. So click one of the options, email, and you can see the profile sign. Apart from the sign out button, there is also with the image, name, first name, everything has come. Whatever you have defined in your account. So just signed out. Just close it here. We'll just see whether our checking of sign account method is working or not here also. So just run it again, and because we are not logged out, and we can see we land up in the profile page. That's the way it happens in the most of the apps. So click the sign out and next time sign in and choose some other account because some of the parameters, some of the profile data was not there in that account. So here everything is coming, so name, family name, everything is coming and token is coming. Then the profile image is also properly coming in the proper our dimension. Then we log out and there is a sign in button. So that's it, friends. I hope you have learned something, and please don't forget to subscribe the channel. If you like this video, please comment, and if you want something more on some particular topic you want. Thank you for watching. Thank you.